Hey folks, I know I haven't made a video in a while, so I just wanted to cover the first half of the year, basically go over what happened in the first half of 2022, how it played out, what my P&L looked like, and how I traded in the different market environments. And we are in our first bear market. So the first half of 2022 was basically a full-blown bear market. I mean, it started very early in January, and up until now, we have been in a bear market and it's gone pretty well. So I'm happy to report that my strategy does seem to work in a bear market. Let's take a look at the months, the month by month. And okay, so this is January up until, okay, this is including July here. So let's filter from January to July or to the end of June there. All right, so this is performance by month. January was a pretty slow month, and that was a little shocking because last year in 2021, that's when the GameStop craze was. And January typically, from what I understand from other traders, January is typically a higher volatility month. Wasn't really the case this year. Only made $2,000 in January. February wasn't much better, but we started to have the oil run, and I think the oil stocks kind of heated up the entire small cap sector. So you had INDO, that was the biggest mover, that was kind of the leader, the sector leader for oil, and then you had IMPP that followed along. Thankfully, IMPP was a smaller or a lower price stock, and that fit right into my wheelhouse. So I didn't even trade INDO at all. I traded IMPP, the sympathy play. And then that momentum kind of continued into March. April was about the same as March. And then May and June were really, really nice months. May, I'd say June was very hot. In May, I just think I traded really well. And we'll take a look at the statistics, and I can show you why I think that. As far as price traded, let's take a look at some of these the prices. Okay, so under $2, I made $7,000. From 2 to 5, I made the bulk of my money, about $12,000. And what's interesting is I didn't even trade really the stocks over $5. For me, they just felt too whippy. It felt like I was taking on too much risk, not enough reward. So I didn't even really trade these stocks at all. And that's actually, you can see the amount of trades that I made over here. So I actually did take a decent amount of trades, and I was basically just break even on that category of stocks. And if I get rid of this filter, you'll see that 5 to 10 was actually pretty decent for me last year. If I make the end date January, we'll make it. There we go. So this was, I mean, definitely 2 to 5 seems to be my breadbasket. But $5 is pretty good for me last year too, and even 10 to 19, I was doing all right as well. And I was buying more dips last year just because the volatility was so crazy. You could just buy a dip and everything just went up. So I think this year you have to use a little bit more discretion. But and I've really honed in on where I feel like I have the most edge, where I can put on the most size, which is that $1 to $5 range. All right, let's go back to the statistics of January to the 30th of June. So up 19, so just about $20,000 for this first half of the year. Winners have been larger than the losers. 53% win rate, 39% losers, and a 1.61 profit factor. The hold time's a little skewed because I got some other trades in there. If I just look at my scalps, which accounts for most of the money that I've made, profit factor actually jumps up to 1.67, and the hold time is less than 20 seconds. So those are pretty decent statistics. In my video that I made recapping 2021, one thing that I said was that I wanted I wanted to make 100K in 2022. And as you can see, we're a long ways off of 100K. It looks like right now, if everything continues and the summer doesn't slow down at all, it looks like we'll finish the year around $40,000, which is a little bit disappointing. And the big thing that I said in my recap of 2021 was if I wanted to get 100K, I needed to be diligent about position sizing. One thing that I said, and this is 2021, right here, and this is a spreadsheet that I use just so I can see the month over month a little bit better than TraderView. This is the capital traded the capital traded is basically what my average position, sorry, average position size. This is what I want to look at. This column, the C column, is the average amount of money that I use on any given position. And at the end of the year, when I started to scale up, it was right around $3,000 to $4,000 per position. And what I found out was, okay, I'm making about 500% a year. If you add up everything in this column up to January of this year, it was about 500%. That's what I made on average position size last year. This year, I'm actually doing much better than that. If we add up these months here, do a sum, actually up 362% on average position size this year so far. So I'm trading much better than last year, and you can see that reflected in the profit factors from this year. So that's good to see. The problem is, look at my average position size. It really hasn't gone up that much. I did bump it up a little bit in January. We were at 5,000, almost 6,000, 6,000, and then it fell off again, right? And these were my best months right here. April, May, June, my best months. I actually took less position size, and the reason was it was more volatile, so I didn't want to take on more risk. The problem was I'm trading really well. So when I'm trading really well and I feel like I have an edge, I got to put on the risk. So here I am taking an average position size of 4,000 or 5,000. Yeah, basically an average position size of 5,000. If I want to hit that 100K mark, I need to bump this up to at least 10,000. That's where I got to be. Average position size has to be 10,000. If I can hit 500% of 10,000, obviously that'll be 100K or over. So that's where I got to be. And it just comes down to actually pulling the trigger. One thing that hurt me, I think, is I added a 1,000 share button on my Stream Deck. And I want to just talk about why I did this really quick, because this was another pivotal learning this year. I went through the biggest drawdown I've ever had. And if we look at, I think is it win-loss expectation? Yeah, here we go. So you can see the cumulative drawdown for the year. And actually, I want to clear out this filter so you can see this was the largest drawdown I had ever had, almost $1,000 drawdown. And if we look at the calendar, you can see what this looked like. And I think this, okay, so this is the end of March. I was coming off of a pretty good win streak. It was like a 8-day win streak. And everything was just clicking, you know. Everything was going so smoothly. I was feeling very confident. And I had a small red day here. It looks like I took a decent amount of trades, just couldn't get anything going. Same thing the next day. And then I had this day. This day was a mistake. I think I should have still been red on the day, but not by this much. I think there was an execution error on this day. And so I'm like, wow, you know, at this point I've had 3 red days now. Given these 2 days have been really small, I should probably be sizing down now and just trying to get my momentum back, trying to get my confidence back. And I don't think that I actually did that, because this day just didn't feel real to me. These 2 days were tiny. They could have been break-even days. And then this day, it was an execution error, so I don't think I actually sized down. So let's go into April and see what happened. April, the first day of April, I take another red day. So we had 4 red days this week. And then I start off the next week with 2 red days. So let's see what those look like. This is a pretty sizable red day for me. And then we have an even more sizable red day. And at this point, I'm like, dude, you got to check yourself. Like, this is, okay, we're clearly in a very bad drawdown. Very, very clearly in a bad drawdown. And I've been here before. I know how to climb out of these. And we just got to do it. So it just didn't feel real those first 3 days. And then once we had these 2 days, it was very real. This day, I think I sized down, just couldn't get anything going. And then I started to get my mojo back. And really what it takes, you know, you guys have heard me say it before if you listen to my other videos, when you're in a drawdown, it's not size up and see if you can make it back in 1 day or 1 trade. It is size down, figure out what you're doing wrong. And this whole week, I traded with 1,000 to 2,000 shares. My normal size, I think over here, was 4,000 shares. I don't even know if I traded with 2,000. It might have been only 1,000, and I traded amazing on these days. And that's why I ended up adding. What happened is I was able to take a little bit more risk, where normally I would have like a 1 cent stop or a 2 cent stop. I could have a 4 to 5 cent stop, and I could pick out some more profitable opportunities, especially on stocks that were a little bit more whippy. And so I put this 1,000 share button on my trade or on my stream deck because I needed to be able to access that button when I was trading something that I was trading 4,000 shares with, but there was a great opportunity, but it required taking a little bit more risk. I needed to have that 1,000 share button, so I added it, and then I think I got in a bad habit of using that 1,000 share button a little bit more just to like test the waters, where I should have been knowing that, hey, this is a good. You're reading the level 2. You know that there are opportunities here. Stop hitting the 1,000 share button and just hit the 5,000. Test the waters of 5,000. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But more often than not, it works. And you know that because of these statistics. So I think that's part of the reason that my average position size was a little bit smaller the months of May, June, and July. It's because that 1,000 share size button was on my stream deck. So as far as goals going forward into the rest of the latter half of 2022, I mean, obviously it's position size. I need to take that 1,000 share size button off of my stream deck because I'm just too likely to hit it. Or maybe I need to bump up. One thing I did actually was I bumped up my 4,000 share size button to 5,000. And maybe I need to bump it up to 6,000 or 7,000. And just keep pushing the envelope there. And then I have my 10,000 share button, which is actually the largest single order that TradeStation will take without commissions. And as we know, if you look at the theoretical commissions column here, my theoretical commissions usually line up pretty evenly, if not higher over here than what I actually make. So I can't take commissions, basically. I have to trade on a commission-free broker. What I can do is set up a macro key on my stream deck to execute a 10,000 share order 2 or 3 times back to back. So I think I can take larger position size. It might take a little bit longer for me to get filled that way. I don't know how fast that macro will execute, but I don't know. That's something I might toy with. And yeah, other than that, it just comes down to pressing the large buttons, and hopefully the market stays hot. As far as the market recently, I mean, the profit factor that I've had in the past few months has been really incredible. 1.7, 2.43, my highest all time, and then 2 here. And really, I just think it comes down to understanding when I have the best risk to reward, when I have the right opportunities, and hitting the big keys in those times. But also, I need to be hitting the big keys when I just have a slight edge. I don't need an 80, 100% edge. I just need 60%, and then I can hit those big keys. And then obviously I got to make bigger keys for when I have 80, 100% edge. So yeah, I mean that's what I'm going to be working on the last half of the year, and then also working on more swing trades. I've had the last 2 years to watch the market, to watch the low float market, and I'm starting to understand where are the really profitable opportunities to take swing trades. Where are the places that I can really swing with size and where I have edge? And so that's going to be another big piece for me. Supplement my swing trades with my scalping, but the scalping is really what takes me to the next level, where you can start making millions instead of thousands or 10,000, 100,000. So that's my goals. Thanks for watching. If you're still around, I got another video coming up soon. It'll be my 5 largest losses. It'll be a pretty good one. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.